Hello students, welcome back to Business Studies e-learning class. Chapter 1, Nature and Purpose of Business. Today we will discuss classification of business activities part 2. That is the second classification of business activities, that is commerce, we will discuss today. Let's start. In previous videos we'd already seen this picture, that is a classification of business activities. Business is classified into two, industry and commerce. Industry's classifications are full, that is primary, secondary, and its sub classifications already we discussed in the previous video. That is included in that video. This is part 1. So here in this video we will discuss the second part, that is commerce. Business classified into two, industry and commerce. First part is industry, okay. So second part is commerce. So commerce again classified into two, that is trade and auxiliaries to trade. Trade again classified into two, that is internal and external. Internal, wholesale and retail. External, import trade, export trade, and entry port trader, okay. Then auxiliaries trader, that is considering it as transportation, warehouse, insurance, banking and finance, advertising, etc. Okay. So that part I shown here. So commerce, trade, auxiliaries to trade. Commerce classified into two, trade and auxiliaries to trade. Trade again classified into two, internal trade and external trade. Then internal trade, two types of wholesale trade and retail trade. External, import trade, export trade, entry port trade. Auxiliaries to trades are transportation, warehouse, insurance, banking and finance, advertising. So first we are discussing what do you mean by commerce. Commerce actually it is a act as a link between producer and consumer, isn't it? That is a producer producing goods, consumer consume that goods, isn't it? So in between that producer and consumer who is acting, commerce is acting. So commerce include a number of activities. Commerce includes all those activities which are concerned with moving goods and services from producers to consumers. So in between this means the producers from that producers hand, the goods and service moving to consumers hand. In between this who is which one is acting? Commerce. The number of activities are involving in between this. So that activities we can call it as a commerce. So commerce included trade and auxiliaries to trade. So this is a connecting link. So commerce we can call it as a commerce establishes a link between producers and consumers. Okay, that figure also shown here. So producers here and consumers here. In between this one connecting link is commerce. In commerce two classifications are there, trade and auxiliaries to trade. So definition of commerce is here. What do you mean by commerce? Commerce includes all those activities which are concerned with moving goods and services from producers to consumer. All those activities which are concerned with moving goods and services from producers to consumer. Then commerce is act as a link between producer and consumers. In establishing a link between producers and consumers, two broad categories are there, that is a trade and auxiliaries to trade. Two categories of trade, two categories of commerce, what are they? Trade and auxiliaries to trade. So sometimes some are using this trade and commerce in a same way. That is wrong thing. So actually trade is the part of commerce. Commerce two classified into two categories. What are they? Trade and auxiliaries to trade. So first we can discuss about what is the role of commerce. What is the role of commerce? Separate one topic, commerce. Before explaining the classifications of commerce, what is the role of commerce we want to discuss. So commerce performs the role of removing various types of hindrances. So main role of commerce is removing certain hindrances. What is the word meaning? Hindrances means obstacles. means stopping something, means that is obstacles is called hindrances. So some hindrances are problems, we can say this is problem also. This different hindrances is removing with the help of commerce. What are the different hindrances are there? Persons hindrance, place, storage problem, then finance problem, risk problem. These problems we can remove with the help of commerce. Okay, so commerce performs the role of removing various types of hindrances. What are the different types of hindrances? Hindrance of place, hindrance of person, hindrance of storage, hindrance of finance, information and risk. Okay, so which comes the way for moving goods from producers to ends. This type of risk, this type of hindrances, then when it will, this will come in the way of moving goods and services, moving from goods and services from the producers to the consumers. In during that time, this type of a hindrance will come. Then thus commerce performs the various roles of the process of linking the producers and the consumers. So main role of commerce is to removing this hindrances. So first and main point is this one: commerce performs the role of removing various types of hindrances. What are the different types of hindrances? Hindrance of place, hindrance of person, hindrance of storage, hindrance of finance, information risk. This type of risk, when it will come, which comes in the way of moving goods from producers to consumers. In that way, moving time, this type of hindrance will occur. This hindrances, which one will remove? Commerce will remove. Okay, so so commerce perform the following roles: the process of linking the producers and consumers. First, we can say discussing about how commerce will help for removing the hindrance of person. First hindrance is a hindrance of person. How this commerce removing this hindrance? Which hindrance? Hindrance of person. How we can remove? So both the producers and consumers located at different places. So here persons means here producer and consumer. The producer is in one place, the consumer is in another place. They don't have any direct link. Okay, so the place, person is the problem. So both the producers and the consumers are located at different places. This resulted in hindrance that the producers may not be able to contact consumers. So in such a case, commerce is playing an important role. That is how. So this hindrance, which hindrance of person, we can remove with the help of traders. How we can remove this hindrance? With the help of traders we can remove this hindrance, because producers in Gujarat, the consumer is in Kerala. So in such a cases, so in between these which one is traders are there, wholesalers, retailers are there. With the help of these wholesalers, retailers, we can remove the hindrance of person problem. So traders of the goods help to overcome this hindrance. There are different types of traders are there. Who are they? Agents are there, wholesalers, retailers. They are the different types of traders. So these different types of traders who provides the link between producers and consumers. It's clear? Now next role of commerce, that is which will help for removing the hindrance of place. Next role of commerce, removing the hindrance of place. So this will remove the hindrance of place. Then how it is helping commerce removing the hindrance of place? Then here place means location. That means producers are located in different places, consumers in another place. So location is the problem. So this place problem, that is the location of the producer and consumers are different considerably. So this is because the producers choose those locations of production which is provide various facilities, while consumers are spread throughout the country. So Then producers in particular areas, so cement manufacturing cases, special areas are there. So there means the producers are in specified place which that place providing, or that locations which will provide various facilities, means raw material facilities, other facilities which are available. That area only producers will choose. Okay, but consumers are spread throughout the country. Then this type of a problem, that is a problem of a place, how we can solve with the help of commerce. We can solve how, that is one of the part of the commerce, that is transportation. So with the help of transportation we can remove the hindrance of a place. Okay, so one of the hindrance is place hindrance. How we can solve with the help of commerce? Transportation the part of commerce. Definitely with the help of transportation we can remove the hindrance of uh, place. Okay, so transportation is an element of commerce. Remove the hindrance of transporting goods from location the producers to the consumers. Okay, now next one is removing the hindrance of storage. Next problem, which hindrance? Storage problem is there. So another element of a commerce is warehousing is there. What is the meaning of warehouse? Storage facilities, go down this you can call it as a warehouse, storage facility. So that is also the part of a commerce. Okay, then with the help of this element, which element? Warehouse. So warehousing is overcomes the which hindrance? Storage hindrance. So there is a time lag between. So here storage problem when it is occurring, that is a seasonal products cases. Then particular items, raw materials available in particular time only, otherwise consumption during the particular period. Umbrella case, raincoat case, so these are consuming during the particular period, but production is throughout the year. So in such cases storage is a very important thing. So there is a time lag between production and the use of goods. During this period the goods should be stored safely. Then which one will help for storing the goods safely? Warehousing. Warehousing we overcomes which problem? Which hindrance? Hindrance of storage, as the goods are stored in warehouse. Thus the warehousing creates the time utility of the goods. Okay, warehousing also utilize the time utility of goods. Next hindrance is removing the hindrance of finance. So finance case, both businessmen and consumers required money, isn't it? So why this businessman required money? So businessmen need finance to run their business, isn't it? So consumers also need money. What for? What purpose? Need buy consumers need to buy goods. So they may not have a sufficient finance. Sometimes in certain situations case they don't have a sufficient finance for meeting their needs. So in such a situation, that problem, how we can remove, how commerce will remove that problem? With the help of another element, that is banking. So banking is the next element of this commerce. So with the help of banking we can remove the hindrance of finance. So banking remove the financial hindrance by providing financing facility to both the businessmen and consumers. Next one is removing the hindrance of information. So information, that is producers may not be able to communicate the positive features of their products to the consumers. So they know, the producer only knows about the real features of that product. So in certain, because the consumers in different places, in such cases they are unable to meet directly each and every consumer, so they can't communicate thoroughly about that product. In such a situation, so this is the another problem that is facing, that is a problem of information. So hindrance of information. So definitely which one help for removing this hindrance? That is advertising. Advertising comes into the picture of remove the which hindrance? Removing the hindrance of information. Okay, so this is a so advertising is considering it as a mass communication. So this will this advertising is also the element of commerce. So this will remove the hindrance of information. Next role of a commerce for removing, which one? Removing the hindrance of risk. Risk means the part of the risk is definitely the part of the business. Risk will happen anytime, means loss will occur at any time due to the unforeseen events. So natural calamities or anything will happen, that business risk will occur. So there are number of risks involved in carry out the business. Similarly, the consumers also have some risk when they use the costly consumer durable goods. So risk is involving in business as well as during the consumption time also risk will come. So which one will remove this one? So insurance helps it to overcome which hindrance? Hindrance of risk. Okay, so this is the these are the different role of commerce. So in 6 ways this will remove the different hindrances. Okay, this is the role of commerce we have discussed now. So next we are going to the another topic, that is types of commercial activities. So in that previous chart you have already seen that the commerce is classified into 2. What are they? Trade and auxiliaries to trade. So different there are different types of commercial activities which will be grouped into 2 broad categories. So what are they? Trade and auxiliaries to trade. First we are discussing about trade. What is trade? Actually trade involves buying and selling of goods and service. That is the trade. Buying and selling of goods and service, that is called trade. So some people tend to use trade and commerce synonymously, which is not correct. Why? Because trade is the part of commerce dealing with its specific aspect. So here some people are using synonymously this trade and commerce, but this is not correct. Why? This trade is the part of commerce, one of the part of commerce, that is trade. So trade is definition is like this: trade involves only this much, involves buying and selling of goods and service, that's only called a trade. So the person who are involved in these trading activities are known as traders. So the person who involved in which activity? Buying and selling of goods and service, that activity involved person, we can call it as traders. So traders provide a useful link between the producers and ultimate consumers of goods and services. So actually this traders is linking consumer and producers. So there are different types of trades as classified as 2, that is a internal trade. We can classify it in previous chart base, we can follow. This is not required. So 2 bases trade, that is again classified into 2: internal trade and external trade. Internal trade and external trade. First we can discuss about internal trade. Internal trade, that is a trade, internal trade also known as a home trade or domestic trade. So okay, that means within the country itself trade is conducting, that type of trade is called internal trade. Okay, so internal trade refers the purchase of sale of goods within the boundaries of a country, and payment is made in the national currency, either in cash or through the bank system. This is called internal trade. So internal trade refers to purchase and sale of goods within the boundaries of a country. Purchasing and sale both are within the country itself. That this type of a trade is known as internal trade. And for purchasing and payment in which currency? National currency. Then either in cash or in banking system, payment system basis. Internal trade may be take place in the 2 parties that is located in the same city or different cities of the country. Okay, then on the basis of the volume of trade, we can internal trade may be classified into 2, that is a wholesale trade and retail trade. Okay, so volume of trade means a bulk quantity purchasing and selling, then it is, we can call it as a wholesale trade. Then retail means small quantity. So volume of trade based, we can classify the trade into two. What are they? Wholesale trade and retail trade. First we can discuss about a wholesale trade. What is wholesale trade? Wholesale trade involves the purchase and sale of goods of a specified type in bulk. So, a wholesaler purchases the goods in bulk either directly from the producer or its agent, and sells comparatively smaller quantities to retailers. So, what they are doing this wholesale trade? So, wholesale trade involves the purchase and the sale of goods as a specified type in bulk quantities they are purchasing and selling. So then a wholesaler purchases goods in bulk either directly from whom? Directly from the producer or its agent base. They are anyway they are purchasing bulk quantity from directly from producer or from his agent. Then what he is doing? Selling to whom? Comparatively smaller quantities selling to the retailers. There's a wholesaler works a link between dash and dash, link between producers and retailers, in between producers and who is a link, creating a link between the producers and retailers. Wholesalers is creating a link between these two parties. Next, what is retail trade? So retail trade means retailers purchase a small quantities from wholesaler and selling directly to whom? The consumer. So retailers involves buying goods large quantities from wholesalers and selling these small quantities to whom? Ultimate consumers. So retail trade has been conducted traditionally through the shops, stalls, peddlers, etc. These are traditional based. However, the retail trade, some new features have been emerged: mail order trading, internet trading either in the producer or bulk trade, large scale retailing through the specified outlets like department stores are there, chain stores, etc. These are the part of this chain stores, department stores. These are the part of this retail trade. In general, retail trade is a link between dash and dash. A link connecting the retailer is a link between wholesaler and ultimate consumers. Okay. Now next one is external trade. Second one, so first trade. Now we are in which topic? Commerce. First that is classification of business. Business is classified into industry and commerce. Commerce again classified into two: trade and auxiliary trade. We are in that trade. Trade is again classified into two. What is that? Internal trade, and second one is external trade. Okay. Trade classification. Okay, second one is external trade. External trade is also known as foreign trade or international trade. Then external trade refers to exchange of goods and services between two or more countries and payment involves in foreign currencies. Between two or more countries, not in domestic. That is previous internal trade means buying and selling of goods within the country or within the boundary of the country. That is internal trade. Here two or more countries are involved and for buying and selling of goods. That is called external trade. So currency payment involves using which currency? Foreign currencies they are using. Then in external trade is again classified into three, that is importer, exporter and entry port trade. First one is importer. You know the importer. Importer trade is simply known as importer, that is involves the purchase of goods and services to be used by the importers themselves and sold in the domestic markets. Import means this importers, they are importing goods from foreign country and selling in our country itself. So that is called import trade. Then example, there's many Indian companies import raw materials, machines from foreign countries for their own use, or many importers import foreign goods to sold in Indian markets. So these importers, they are doing, sometimes importers importing goods from other countries using in that themselves, or sometimes they are selling to the selling to others in within the country itself. That is a very important importing, then using in the same country or selling in the same country itself. Okay, that is called the internal trade. Now external import trade. Next one is export trade. Export trade means simply known as export involves selling goods and services in foreign markets. Example, Indian firms selling garments in other countries, it is a export trade. Our products we are exporting to the other countries, means selling to other countries, that trade is called export trade. Next one is entry port trade. This is a new term, I think, for you. Entry port, import, export, that you know. Entry port meaning is first we are suppose we are purchasing goods from other country, then this importer means first of all we are importing from other countries, then this same importer they are selling to another country, that is called the entry port trade. Okay, so that is goods purchased. Here example is given, goods purchased from India, means Indian market, Indian this importers purchase goods from US, then export it to other countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka, etc. That type of trade is called entry port trade. Okay, the word entry port has been derived from the French word meaning this warehousing. This entry port involves import goods from foreign country and export these goods to other countries. Example, Indian firm, here it is given, Indian firm imports goods from where US and exporter to other countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka, etc. This is called entry port trade. Okay, so these are the three external trade: import trade, export trade, entry port trade. Next, commerce we are classified into two, isn't it? Trade and auxiliaries to trade. So this is the second part of this commerce, that is auxiliaries to trade. Auxiliaries to trade. First one is a trade completed. Now auxiliaries to trade. In business context, the term auxiliaries to trade means those activities which provide support to perform activities relating to the industry and trade. So supporting activities means helping certain helping we are giving to the trade and industry. So that supporting activities we can consider it as auxiliaries to trade. So in fact they provide a facility to basic industry and trade. Such activities include, auxiliaries to trade includes banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing, communicating, advertising. These are helping for trade and industry. So that type of activities we can consider it as auxiliaries to trade, which involves banking, insurance, transportation, warehousing, communicating, advertising. Okay, these activities helps a smooth flow of a process relating to industry and trade. Definitely industry and trade is depending to these auxiliaries to trade. A brief discussion on the role of those activities is presented below. Okay, one by one we can discuss. First of all, banking. So banking includes all types of banks operating in a country. The banks are of the following types. The central bank, there is only a single such bank in a country. Then commercial banks, specified banks, corporate banks. So this is banking includes all types of banks operating in a country. Different types of banks are there. Okay, banks facilitate help in providing. So this is the point. So banking facilitates help in providing finance to all those who are concerned with the business and consumers. Providing finance, okay, helping giving finance to business and consumers. For the bank leads to ease financial transaction through repayment, payment, receipt of money without involving delivery of cash. Okay, this is banking is the first element of commerce. Second, that is auxiliary to trade. Second auxiliary to trade is insurance. Insurance is a contract under which the insurer agrees in consideration of a premium insurance premium to pay an agreed sum of money to the insured to make good the loss, damage, or injury caused by some uncertain event or an expiry of a contract period. Insurance service reduces the impact of loss likely to be caused by specified causes like fire, accident, spoilage, theft, flood, etc. Parties concerned may get their assets, including goods, insured by the paying only a nominal amounts as the premium in relation to the value of assets insured and be assured about the compensation of a loss due to any specified event. So insurance is the second accessories to trade. So insurance is the contract. What is insurance? Insurance is the contract under which insurer means the person who is taking that insurance. The insurer agrees taking that insurance, that is called insurer. So insurer agrees in consideration of insurance premium to pay an agreed sum of money to whom? To the insured to make the good the loss, damage, or any caused by some uncertain event in the expiry of a contract period. Okay, so it's a contract between this insurer and insured. So the person who is taking that insurance, then they must give this premium. Then who is ready to, the insured is ready to, consideration of insurance premium to pay a sum, agreed sum of money to the insured to make the good the loss. Insured means the person who is taking that insurance is called insured. Okay, not insurer, insured. Then the insurance company is agreed to repay this loss. They are ready to take that loss. They must give this compensation for the loss incurred to that person. Okay, so this is the another auxiliaries to trade. Next one is transportation. Third one is transportation. Transportation provides the physical means which facilitate the movement of people, goods, services from one place to another. Transportation includes water, land, water, air facilities for movement. So transportation is required to move goods from producers to the ultimate consumer. The movement of goods is required because the producers are located at a few places while consumers are located throughout the country. The transportation leads to mobilization of resources, widening of a market, price stabilization, economies of scale, development of industries producing these perishable goods, and employment generation. So transportation provides the physical means which facilitate the movement of people, goods and services from one place to another. So this is the third one, is third accessories to trade is transportation. Next one is warehousing. Fourth one, warehousing. This also removing the storage problem. So warehousing refers the activities involve the storage of goods on a large scale in a systematic and orderly manner and making available when needed. So warehouse refers to a place used for storage or accumulation of goods. Then there is a time lag between the production of goods and the demand of ultimate consumers. During this period, the goods have to be stored in warehouse. Such storage is required at different levels. By storing goods for specific period of time, utility is created which is beneficial to all producers, traders, consumers. Based on the nature of this service provided, the warehouse are grouped into three categories: private, public, and bonded warehouses are there. Private warehouses is one which is owned by an entity and is used solely for the purpose of storing its own goods only. Means a private warehouse, they are using their own products only. They are not giving on rent basis. So their warehouse they are using for themselves only. Then the entity may be either the manufacturer or the trade of the goods. Then next warehouses is a public warehouse. is one which is used by users for storing their goods on payment of based they are taking and storing their products. So that type of warehouse we can call it as a public warehouse. And bonded warehouse is established and a bond with the customs or authorities to store dutiable imported goods till the payment of customs duty. So this is a bonded warehouse. This is established under the bond with the customs authorities to store the this dutiable imported goods. Dutiable imported goods they are storing and till the payment of custom duty, till that period they are storing that store warehouse, that is called a bonded warehouse. This is the warehousing is the fourth accelerated trade. Next one is a communication. Communication is the fifth accelerated trade. The communication involves the exchange of information and understanding between the two or more person. All business activities involves some type of communication. Communication facilitate to require the link of producer, traders and consumer through the exchange of information. The extent of which the various communication facilities, landline, telephone, mobiles, internet services, etc. are developed in the country determines the effectiveness of the industry and trade. So communication involves exchange of information and understanding between two or more person. So this is the communication is a very important part of this business. All business activities involves some type of communication. Communication facilitates are required to link who producer, traders and consumers through the exchange of information. That is also a very important part of commerce. Next last very important accelerator trade is advertising. Advertising is an impersonal form of communication which is paid by the sponsor, that is organization, to promote their products. It means through which the producers features are communicated to whom? To the potential consumers. So they are explaining their features to consumer. So this advertising is considered as a mass communication. These features not only pass the relevant information to the consumer but also motivate them to buy the product. Advertising not only simply passing the information about this product, they motivating the consumers to purchase that product. Okay, in the present competitive business environment, advertising has become a specialized job. Because of this reason, many specialized advertising agencies have come into the existence in India. Okay, advertising is the one of the auxiliaries to trade. So now we discussed about commerce and its a subclassification. Commerce is again classified into two trade and auxiliaries trade. Trade is again classified into two. What are they? Internal trade and external trade. Trade is classified into two: internal trade and external trade. Then internal trade, that is wholesale trade and retail trade. External trade, that is import, export, entry port trade. Then auxiliaries to trade, 6 are there. That's transportation, communication, warehousing, then banking, insurance, then communication, advertisement. These are the different auxiliaries to trade. Okay, so the classification business topic is completed. So prepare the note. Okay, thank you.